Here's the neat thing with real estate. I'll give you 2 questions that no agent is ever asking that will eliminate over 50% of your objections. Okay, you ready? If you're working with a buyer, here's the 2 questions that you want to ask very early on in your conversation. Nobody asks these. Hey, Dan, just out of curiosity, what's your biggest reason for moving? Right? Every buyer is like, what neighborhood do you want to be in? What price range do you want to be in? We talk about all this ticky-tack stuff, but we never ask somebody, what's your biggest reason for moving, right? We've got to ask that. And then here's the other question if you're working with a buyer. After you find, by the way, you want to follow that up with some whys. What's your biggest reason for moving? I just want to be in a smaller place and I need to do it quickly. When you say smaller place and quickly, unpack that for me. Well, I don't know, I'm kind of embarrassed. I'm going through a divorce right now and, I'm just looking to get back on my feet. What I really want to do is maybe get into a high-rise situation where I can meet some new people. All my friends were with my relationship with my wife, and boom, you're off and running, right? So first question is, what's your biggest reason for moving if you're working with a buyer? Second question, and you guys never ask this, and every time I've ever bought property, and I've bought a lot of property, no agent has ever asked me this. Got it, on the biggest reason for moving. Hey, just out of curiosity, when we go look at these properties, what do you want to see first? It's amazing. We position ourselves to getting all these objections because we never figure out what's that person's biggest reason for moving and what do they want to see first. Like I would say, I do a lot of work from home. I want to see the home office, and then I'd like to see the garage because I've got this little car collection going on. I got a 55 Porsche, a Bentley Mulsanne. I've got my G-Wagon. I'd love to get another space so I can get another car. When you can understand that deep level of knowledge about that buyer, they're going to complain a lot less about the price, about, hey, I really don't like the fact that there's no open space next to this. Got it. Hey, but you had said that was most important was that home office and the garage, right? Now you're able to work with them. If it's somebody selling their house, okay, you can't ask them what they want to see first, but it's the same first question you need to ask. Guys, write these down. Hyperfast Nation, write these down. If it's somebody selling their house, okay, first question's the same. What's your biggest reason for moving? I'm getting a divorce. We're having a baby. Our family is growing. I want to move to Austin, Texas, because everybody out there is moving to Austin, Texas. I don't know. Whatever the reason is. What's your biggest reason for moving? And then the next question that nobody asks when they're working with sellers, you ready? Just out of curiosity, what research have you done on us? What research have you done on the Monica Jones team, right? This is going to set you apart from everybody else. If you don't ask questions like that, then you're constantly going to get, can you lower your rate? Can you change your contract? Think about how much more powerful that makes you sound. And then what if the answer was this? Like, Dan, if you're going to run a race, wouldn't you rather just step across the finish line than run the whole race? If I ask you, hey, what research have you done on the Matt Easton team? Oh, my brother, he sold his house with you guys. You're great. He says, I've got to use you. Hands down, I'm not looking at anybody else. Versus, I don't know anything about you guys. I don't know how you're different. At least you know the race you've got to run. Unfortunately, see, here's the thing that people don't understand about sales. Our prospects, our buyers, our sellers, they'll answer whatever question we ask them. So you could have somebody that you literally just listed their brother's house. They're not going to look at anybody else. And then you start asking them all these other questions like, have you looked at anybody else? And they're like, I don't know, maybe I should, right? Just ask those 2 questions if it's a seller. What's your biggest reason for moving? And what research have you done on us? You're going to set yourself apart from everybody else out there in the market.